Hello, I hope you're doing great. Today, we are going to continue localizing the authentication pages for the FairPlay platform. If you have been following my work, especially in LinkedIn lately, you will probably have seen some articles in my LinkedIn newsletter. And there are other things that we have been doing in the FairPlay platform. And one of the things that we have been doing is also localizing the whole set of pages. And in this case, we are going to continue with authentication pages so that users can actually see those pages in the different supported languages. Now, if you have seen my work before, you may know that I created a small trick to be able to have the code automatically identify some of the items and create the resources because we are using data-driven localization so that later on users can access an administrator portal and change the actual localized value to something that may make more sense to them, right? Now let's start. So let's go to the shared project. So one of the things that we did here is we took the Blazor authentication pages and we moved it to its own project, basically a Razor class library, right? And we have all of these pages, right, as well as the ones managed folder. But now we want to go to this one. You see that we have this reset password, right? And this is not localized. This is actually hard-coded text. We don't want that. So first thing that we want to do is inject the iString localizer. We want to inject the iString localizer for this specific page. So reset password, and we are going to name it localizer. Now, the way the localizer works is that you basically use it like this, right? And you put in there a key. So basically what it will do, sorry, localizer. What the framework will do is go and use or find that key, localizer, for the current configured culture or language, right? So which key we want here? We want to move this. We are going to put localizer, reset password, text key. Now this thing doesn't exist yet, right? So what I am going to do is I'm going to the end of this class. I'll create a new region just for keeping, just to separate it a little bit. Now I'm going to create a constant set password text key. With that, I am going to value of this, right? If I leave it like this, I actually lose the original code. So no, what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to use attribute that I created. It's a custom attribute in the FairPlay combine.common.custom attribute namespace. And the default value for that one is going to be reset as word. So there is another project in here. If you have seen my work before, this localization generator, which will actually go and inspect the full code and it'll check for the constants which have this this resource key attribute, basically the constants which are marked with this resource key attribute, it will take the value or the default value, and it will create the default resource in English for that. And then it will execute the translation on the supported languages. Then we have in here the third project, which actually have the EF string localizer of T, and you see that it has all of the localization retrieval. And if we go to the get all the strings, this is basically the one that goes to the database and retrieves the values from there, right? So from the resource table, and for the given culture we set up current code. Okay. So basically, once that has been inserted in the database, this localizer will actually find the correct key. Now we are going to modify this one. That one is name, and this text changes slightly. Set your password, text key, right? I did remove the dot because I don't really want to have that dot or question item. So public const string, okay, password, text key. Just remove the key value because I want the database records to have key at the end for these specific items. And let's see, are we missing something in here? We are missing the translation for, let's see, order, no, the email. Localizer, email, text, key, right? So you go to the end. Value. Key. So that one is fixed in there. Now let's see what else we have in here. We want to localize this folder too. So let's just move this a little bit so we can see better. Okay, so please enter your password. This one is going to be a little bit different. Localizer, please enter your password. Text. Now, I'm going to create the constant in here. Value public const string, enter password text key. Okay, and now what I am going to do is public string is enter your password text, and this is the one which is going to use the text. Now, why do we do that? Because when we are assigning HTML elements like this, there's usually an issue when trying to create or mix them with components, C# strings or logic. So basically, it's better to use not doing it like this, but like that. So basically, this will get the value of the please enter your password text. And this is going to use the localizer with this key, right? And eventually we'll get this, right? So usually have to do this kind of trick with the placeholder attribute, HTML attribute. Okay, so now let's see here, password, localizer, password, text, key. Let's go down again. Source key, value, password, string, password, key, password. What else do we have in here that we may need to complete? See, to complete now. Please confirm your password. This actually. This here, password text. So let's create a constant. Search key value, please password string password text key public string password text okay. Compare password. So localize this password text key. Okay. Now we go down again. We have the resource key. Okay, and Blazor text key. We go down again. Resource key value set public const string set text key reset. Okay, and that's it, the localization for this item. So let's see if we are missing anything. This is just the email string, so no. But we probably need localization of some other thing. Yeah, let's see if there are any errors. No, but we have so custom required, custom email address, custom required, custom string length. I'm going to remove message in here. Where and from here. Custom. Hey, what's it? Actually, this one needs a different trick. I'll show you. Then Now, these custom required and custom email attributes are actually trees. So to centralize the format error message, you can see that this custom required attribute basically is marked with localizer of T. Of course, it has the attribute usage, it inherits from the required attribute, and it has a static localizer variable. So when it's building the error message, it uses the localizer with the required text key, which is here, which is actually marked with the result key. So this will always be in the database, and as soon as the validation passes for the custom required attribute, it will retrieve text in the required language. The same or similar approach is happening for the custom email address, right? And for the custom string. So you see them here. Okay, now the display is something slightly different. We need to go, for example, to login, I believe. We should have display. And you see that in here we have this, right? And in this case, we have a localizer class with the actual. So the reason we did that, if I remember correctly, is because I believe this display class cannot be inherited. Yeah, this is actually sealed, so I cannot inherit from it. Okay, so what I will do instead is I'll go to the password as input the model. So public class input advisor, input model advisor, right? Localizer of the input model in here. Now I'll create or I'll add advisor variable, right? Or property. Then I'll add the reserved key for config password. Key value password. Okay. Public const string password text key password text, and in here we will have public string confirm password text, which is going to use localizer confirm password text key. Then we are going to modify this display. We are going to this. We're going to use reverse type equals type of input model advisor. Name is going to be the of the property time of input model advisor dot password text. Let's double check. Yeah. Okay, I'll add the format in there. See that it says display 4, display 4. I'll modify that. So display 4 config password. Display 4 password key, display 4. confirm password text. Okay, so that should be display for confirm password, right? That should be for that one. Now when we register, let's see about compare for if we code it. So it should have an input model in here. Is this one? Okay, this one should have a compare, and yeah, custom compare at name. So basically, for the reset password string, instead of having this hard coded, this is the property it is going to compare against to check if the values are same. So I'll leave it like that, and we remove the hard coded value there, right? So this is basically how we localize the authentication pages, actually most of the public. So if you want to see more about this, please let us know in the comments. And what have you been, let me know what have you been working with Blazor lately. So let's localize this one. Okay. Region source is, and region source is public on screen password information. Now you may notice that in here, every single time that I add resource key, I need to do control dot and this, and it will create the using. Now the reason that's happening is because I haven't added this to the imports file for section account. Okay, set password on key. Okay, so now I change this get the localizer. So get localizer. Okay, this is for the page, which is reset password confirmation, right? Page localizer. Password has been set, and I'll remove this space in here. This, okay. The password set. That source key. Public set. Next. Click here, login. First key. Put value. Public on screen. in